1 in 4 Americans look beyond the mainstream to ethnic media for information about their neighborhoods, their homeland, and the world. These are the people building a global society in America. These are our voices. This is the new America now.
This year, the murder rate is up in the Bay Area. But for every homicide, there are 3 or 4 people, many of them teenagers, who get shot and survive. This segment profiles one such teen.
When you see that you still have a bullet in you, you get shot and you're still alive, you're still talking, breathing, all you have are like a bunch of battle scars and like things that shouldn't ever work again, they're kind of working. You just, start thanking God,
In the last couple of years, we've had a steady increase in number of trauma victims from gunshot wounds. So a couple of years ago, we had 110 people who were shot in 1 year. This is not the people who died, these are just people who got shot. That number last year was 175. One day, I was on Sunday 2 weeks ago, and I'm walking around in the ED, and somebody walks up, and there's 2 17-year-olds who got shot. The other day, the kid we operated on, he was 17. This morning, I saw a 15-year-old kid right in the clinic. There's a 14-year-old kid I took care of. He was shot. He was in the hospital for a couple months. I mean, there's more and more. I'm seeing much more of that than I had seen before.
I remember we came here with a Sharpie. I mean, why do I get to come back? How come nobody else? Because I hear all these stories on the news. They're like, oh, so-and-so has gotten shot, died. So-and-so shot, died. I'm like, how come I'm the lucky few? Because not too many people get hit like I do and come back to life.
Like, it came through here. You see how it gets bigger right there? That's where it came in. This is surgery.
These guys ran up to the car and grabbed bats and started breaking our windows.
It came out down here, I think. This is surgery again.
So we hit a U-turn, and right when we came out of the U-turn, a car was already next to us, and the guy was already holding out guns, and he was already shooting at us.
And it came up, it hit me right here. I think it's the bottom one. No, wait, the top one that it hit.
And all of a sudden, I see my hand just fall to my knee, and like after it fell to my knee, I just like couldn't breathe anymore.
And then right here, they have to go through surgery, open me up, and got 2 scars right there.
I could taste the blood in my throat.
I got scars right here from surgery.
I couldn't feel my left arm. Like, I was just hurting all bad. Like, my side was hurting, but nothing hurt more than just like, not being able to breathe, because then once you can't breathe, you can't feel anything else,
So to have life, you got to have 2 things. You got to have air going in and out, and you got to have the blood go round and round. Right, so blood don't go round and round because it's going out a hole, right, then you go into shock, right? If air's not going in and out, that means that you're not getting oxygen to the tissues, right? So these are all sort of complex, it's much more complex than that, but that's sort of the way that the big picture of looking at things when it happens. So when a bullet goes in, that's what it does.
I thought I was just scared, that's why I couldn't breathe, but but the bullet had like broken through my arm, like came out, hit me in the side, like barely like ripped a hole in my lung, hit my stomach, my liver, like hit a bunch of all different stuff, and it's like lodged into my back. Like you have your spinal cord and your disc, and it's stuck right in the disc, 5 centimeters away from like my nerve. So if that bullet would have gone up, I would be paralyzed right now.
When you watch TV, everybody's like, pulling out the bullets and the bullets click and all that stuff. And it's like, it's kind of an entertaining thing. I have to tell you sometimes, like if I'm in the operating room, I'll do the same thing, because it's kind of like, oh, they do that on TV, I'll do it, so. But the reality is that we do not routinely go digging bullets out of people. And why do we do that? Why do we not do that? And the reason why is because the more we dig is the more we can hurt. So if the bullet goes through the chest, through the lung, and it lodges right near the spinal cord, right, in order for me to go in there and get the bullet out, I have to crack open their chest, I have to cut the muscles in their chest, I have to dig through their lungs, and I have to go into the back near their spinal cord to take the bullet out. Now, during all that stuff, it's a big operation, right? And I have to pull the bullet out near where the bone is at, right? And what happens is you hurt people more by doing that. We essentially deal with the things that will kill the person first, and we try to abbreviate everything up front. And we're not running around and we're not going to fix every little thing. We just fix the big things that's life-threatening, then we pack them, then we bring them back to the operating room numerous times until we got things under control. So it's a staged thing. It's not like, there was a time where you would, probably looking at 25, 30 years ago, where you'd say, I must fix everything right now. And if you do that, you basically kill people.
Like, I'm in this bed, like, my arm hurts. I can't move it at all. I could barely move my fingers. Like, I have these tubes in, like, my sides. I have tubes in my stomach. I have tubes in my neck, going down my nose, everywhere. I'm just tripping out. I'm like, all right, what happened? That must have been one crazy night, And then, the doctor just told me, he's like, all right, it broke your arm, and it just, like, ripped through everything, and it's still in you. We can't take it out.
What did you think about when he told you that?
I was tripped out. I was like, for real? I was like, I don't believe you. And then I looked at my stomach, and I was like, all right, maybe I do. But yeah, like, it was crazy. All I remember is just being really confused and, not knowing what to do about it. And, I mean, there's nothing you could do about it, so, I mean, you just got to sit through there and enjoy it, I guess.
Then there's the mental problems, and a lot of them will have post-traumatic stress. So what does that mean? That means that they will relive over and over again what happened. I was walking down the street, and all of a sudden, I got shot, and they just go down.
I ain't walking on that block. I'd say, I'd be tripping out when I'd be taking a bus by there. I won't trip out as hard, but I'll just be kind of, it'll be in the back of my head, like, oh, this is what happened. But, I'll try to, like, listen to music or something, like, just to keep my mind off of it. But, when I'll pass by it on different streets, like, I'll pass by it and I'll see it and I'll be like, it'll kind of anger me, but it'll kind of, like, kind of just like, whatever, It just adds on to your person, Like, and, like, maybe that you wouldn't want to forget it, I guess, Maybe because maybe that is what makes you now.
There's obviously innocent people get killed, and most people are young, decent folks who are not looking for trouble. But there are folks who are, in gang life, and the gang life, there's a code. You break the code, you get punished.
The way I think now is know what you're going to use it for and know how that's going to impact somebody else before you end up using it. Or don't just go trigger happy on everybody you see. I mean, just figure out what it's going to think about it at first, and that'll probably really just stop you from using it. Like, think about how that's going to ruin you, probably kill that person, ruin their family's lives, ruin all their friends' lives. And then, like, just think about what could he have been